Okay, welcome gamers. We're going to be playing some Elemental Reforged. It's been a little while since I've actually sort of got back into the game. I've been waiting for this particular drop to come. This is actually beta 2. This is actually sponsored content, so thank you Stardock for sponsoring this one. There is actually a tracking link in the description, and also I've pinned a message there in both Twitch and also in YouTube if you are wanting to look at this incredible game. And we'll actually be having a bit of a look at that as well before we sort of really delve into it, for the simple reason that there's a lot of new stuff that's coming to the game. And what they did was they actually released beta 1, which is really just sort of like where they sort of cobbled together the different bits and pieces. It's still in early access, of course, like the game itself, and I think it'll be in early access for some time, like I would imagine. I sort of hope it is, because it gives us an opportunity to shape the way that the game is going to then play, which is pretty cool. One of the big things you'll sort of see down through here is we actually now have some new tabs, which I don't know if we can sort of, we've got tools, mods, languages, options, etc. So these are, we do now have workshop support. So that's a big one, actually, to actually be able to share different bits and pieces. And I did want to show that, actually, for the simple reason, if I go to mods, this is installed mods. Okay, so I need to go and get more. Will it take me to Steam? I haven't clicked on any of these stuff, by the way. Here we are. So we're in the Steam workshop support. And one thing I always like to look at is when mods first are sort of brought into a game, particularly a big game like this where you can do all sorts of different things, is to see what the tags are that they've actually allowed to come in, which is interesting. So I might have a bit of a look at this stuff. I really like seeing this because it gives you an idea of the scope. Hi Chris, how you going? Saying, how coincidental, I just this minute downloaded the update. You popped up and it finished. There we go. Yeah, no, it's only just come out. The update has just come out publicly. I've had it for about a week, and I've been playing it. Again, it's been my go-to game just to play for enjoyment. So I've been playing this one quite a bit. I will go through some things. If you do actually have the old game, if you've got an existing game going, start a new one with this one, and also delete all of your custom-made heroes. They don't work in the new update. They do work, but they don't get the best access for everything else. And I sort of don't know why they weren't just automatically updated. But anyway, if you are in that category, don't use your existing heroes to play a new game in this new version. And I'll show you why in just a minute. I actually got rid of all mine, but I can still show you what the difference is. Anyway, this is all the stuff that's going to be coming in with the various mods, which is good because it means that one of the troubles when you've got a game that is so easy to mod, and this is going to be a very, very mod-friendly game, is you end up with a plethora of mods that don't really help much, because you've got so many of them. And so having so many different categories does actually now allow us to pick and choose what we're going to have. And you can see there's not a hell of a lot in there just yet. It's really only just, well, it's been the first, hour, I guess? I don't even think it's an hour yet since the update came out. So there's just some things in here, some example mods that Stardock has put together, ready to sort of go. You can see the categories there: world map, monster lair, item/weapon. So different things like this, and this is actually going to be, I think, very, very cool, being able to go in and actually pick up different bits and pieces, from the game. There's a Banshee unit. Like if we go and have a look at this one. So we've got Banshees. I thought Banshees was in the original game, but anyway, it looks like we're going to be able to bring in different units, which is actually, again, really cool to see a mod that we'd be able to then go and pick it and see how it's built, like the 3D, the coding, the whole lot. So this is actually really, really nice to sort of see this one. You can see already there's a heap of subscribers. I don't know, maybe this came out a little while back. Yeah, there's some. Yeah, it did when they were testing, by the looks of things. So anyway, that's that. It would be interesting to pull apart and see how it works, just to see what we can do ourselves. Like with just sort of like standard. They did actually have a funny proprietary way of doing 3D. Not proprietary from them, but there was a system that they were using way back when Elemental first launched. I don't know if the 3D elements are going to be exposed. So that, again, we'd just be interested to sort of see how that one does work. Anyway, that's the workshop. So that is in the game. I'm glad we could sort of have a look at that one through there. So I don't actually have any mods in through this other side. I'll just go and cancel out of that one. This one here is, I'm guessing, tools to go and build. Workshop tools can now be used to create new maps. improvements and spell effects. These are the same tools used by Stardock. So Builder's Forge, Cartographer, Cauldron, Faction Creators. Yeah, there's no 3D aspect in there, I don't think. Yeah, this allows you to design your tiles using an assortment of pieces. Your creations can then be hooked to goodie huts, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, anyway, that's the various tools for making content. One of the great things about Elemental is it is a role-play game really at its heart, and very, very much so. Hi, Heart of Mithril, how are you? And Devon's Man saying, I did get the early access and played it some. Tried to resist over the Christmas holidays when I have. I'll try to revisit over the Christmas holidays when I have some time off. It's one of these games I can play for like 5 or 10 minutes and enjoy it, and then put it away. Like everything plays pretty. The pacing in this game I really, really like. Anyway, let's go and start a new game, and we'll just go through the changes. So some of the changes that we're aware of. There's a lot of changes that have come into this particular one. As I said before, if you do actually have, and this is like a custom character that I've just been playing with, who I quite enjoy playing as the Trogs, to be honest. These are sort of like the Orcs, sort of using them in through there. But you can create your own factions and the whole lot now. So there's so much more that we can actually then go and do. I'll make this about gameplay, this particular video, but just it's an exciting transition into this particular into beta 2 with the things we can now sort of go and do with the editors and stuff like this. So anyway, this particular character, if you don't see, and I don't know if it'll show it in here. No, we won't be able to see it in through this other side. We've got the actual his abilities and then the Euthril abilities down there. You won't know until you're actually back into a game whether you've actually got what you need. And I'll show you what that is. So let's just go and quickly create a character. Let's go and create a. Let's go and create one of these characters. She looks fine. So we'll use her. She's going to be from Reslin. These are called the Wraiths by some, monsters by others. They are neither man nor fallen, but creatures of dark sorcery and magic, transformed by the spell that gave Circe power. They are bound to her by the spell, a bond that cannot be broken, even with the most powerful of enchanters. So we've gone with the Wraiths at this point in time. So you've got all sorts of different, you've got men, which have got like different abilities down through here, different factions, including the Empire of Craxus, Tarth, etc. So you see a lot of kingdoms will just be standard men. The Wraiths are pretty much just Reslin, but you can then go and create a new faction if you're wanting to. I think downloading the factions is going to be pretty cool, to be honest. I probably will actually use the workshop support for doing that to just to flesh out the factions in the game. Then we've got the Trogs, which are sort of like the Orcs. You've then got the Urkson, which is sort of like a bear. Sort of like these are like barbarians, I guess. Is like this sort of they've got the Empire of Umber down through there. So these are the first and most numerous of all fallen tribes. And then finally we have the Quendar, which is and they're either an empire or a kingdom. And so these are sort of like almost draconians, the way that they sort of work. They've got like they train slaves. And so they sort of manage slaves. But let's just go the Wraiths just to be something a little bit different. So do we want to do that? I'm just thinking, do we actually go with, or do we just go back to men, or even, like Trogs I just can't stop playing. I'm really enjoying playing as those. Anyway, let's have a look. We've got Wraith Blood into here. So Wraith Touched, they drain 1 hit point per level from the victim unless they resist. They've got plus 20 dodge, so they dodge very, very well. But they start off with minus 1 hit point per level. So they actually end up being weaker overall physically, but with the ability to actually sort of drain health from their victims. Yeah, let's try these guys out. So we'll just go back in, and that's the overview. So one of the things I really hope that they look at some point in the game is their random name generator is abysmal. It's one of the worst I've ever seen. It really comes up with some crappy names. Like if I just start to sort of do this ones, Eveli, which wasn't too bad, in After, it really is terrible. And Zayarthana is not too bad, is it? That's not a terrible one. So I'll just I can sort of go and edit these. Zymoff, that'll do. So Zymoff, she will be our heroine. Oh, I always make my own faction, says Beacon. There we are. Yep. So it's probably a good way to go. Like I think in that sort of sense. Then we've got the attributes. So we'll just click across. So we've sort of done like the basic stuff with her. We can always just come back to this one. Attributes are essentially the points. Now we've got 6 points left over at this point in time. Now, including you've got one of your professions that you have to then go and choose. Adventurer is a good one. It does give you fame for completing quests, so it sort of invites you to play the quest system in the game. Bandit Lord is player starts with 2 bandit units and has the ability to convert bandits, which is okay-ish, except that bandits are fairly weak, so I'm not going to worry about those. Diplomat, 30% value of trades and silver tongue ability. I'm not going to worry about that one. Hunter, 50% attack versus beast. Scholar, 20% research is interesting. Warlock, this unit spells do 25% more damage. Armourer, all units get plus 25% to defense. That's not bad as well, actually. That's not bad. Simply because we're weaker physically. Beast Lord can take control of enemy beasts. General, so plus 25% to the army's experience. That's going to have everything level up really quickly. That's actually not a bad one at all. Noble, minus 10 unrest in all cities. That would also be quite valuable. We have a plus 2 levels for summons. Unlocks the summon Shadow Walk spell. Again, that would be good. You know, I think I might go that way. And then we've got Warlord there. I might go Summoner just because it sort of is the appropriate sort of thing. So that's still got 6 points there. We then move from Adventurer down to Summoner. We then have to pick and choose what magical proficiencies we have. I always like to start with Earth because it gives you so I'll just go with 1 Earth Apprentice. We might come back after we see if we've got any other points. It's going to cost me 2 more points. But I wouldn't mind getting Death Magic, I think. Wouldn't mind going with both Earth and Death. So we've got like Wither, Curse, Oppression, but we're then going to be able to do other things. If I go to Death, say for example Death Disciple, I'm then going to have other abilities, but we can get there anyway. So things like the Shadow Bolt, stuff like that, would I think just be nice to round it out, but it does cost me 2 points. Yeah, maybe. But Earth, what Earth does is, if we have a look at at what Earth brings us. When did I do that before? Oh, over here. So Earth has got enchanted hammers, and so what this one does is essentially, while we need to be building things up, gives me +1 material to a city, and cities typically sort of start with either 3 or 4 materials. So to go from a 3 to a 4 just while you're building is actually good, and then you can sort of change it once you've actually got what you needed to have build into something else. So this is if you get the they've changed the name of it. It's no longer Essence. I forget what it's called now. Yeah, can't remember. Anyway, it's not called Essence anymore in the cities, but in one of those extra sort of magical slots. Let's start that way. Then we've got talents. And I've got down through here. Yeah, I won't get any of the weaknesses. Attunement, +2 mana per season. I won't need that the way I'm hoping to play. Grants the ability to escape with remaining allies from battle. That's not bad. That's actually very, very cool. 1 point left. Hardy. +1 hit point per level and immune to poison. That would sort of mitigate the fact that we are playing as the Wraiths with the Wraith Blood. Sovereign Bond grants the ability to summon a familiar that can cast all the spells you can. That's actually a good one as well for the Wraiths. Wealthy, Misandry, brilliant. +10 experience and 2 spell mastery per level. That's actually a good one as well for us, but that would then make us go more into playing as a warlock or a witch. Discipline, might, tactician, +1 to the army's initiative. We may have to rely on that, actually. That's not a bad one either. Lifeblood, casting a spell heals this unit 5 points. Treasure Hunter. Let's go back to the other ones. I've only got 1 point. Appearance, back in through here, we have then the various sort of ways that she will then sort of be decked out. Let's just go down. There's nothing much here. If we go back to body, this is actually just the pose. We'll come back to that in just a minute. The head, this is what she looks like. So we'll go with sort of one of these type of things, I think. Got various sort of skins and stuff, but I'll just keep her nice and clean. What do they look like? These don't have all of the stuff. Anyway, we'll go with it. It's funny because these are actually, if you open up the original game and look at these models, they're so much worse than the original game. They still look a bit sort of funny, but they have been fleshed out quite well. The equipment costs me money. Now this is enchantments of these units have no maintenance, so Crown of Magic. Actually, that costs nothing. Let's go back to the head again. Yeah, I'll leave it. I'll leave it off. She's gonna. It looks weird there with that there. She does actually have Dragonfly braces, so +2 to initiative if we wanted to use that one. That one does cost 1 point. That costs 1 point. Crown of Magic costing nothing. That seems strange. These cost 1 to have horses, which sort of do move around fairly quickly. Yeah, there's something wrong there. That shouldn't be there, the Crown of Magic. Unless this is something that you get playing as these guys. But just with her looking bald, it just looks funny. So still at the 1 point. Look, I'll give her that, and then clothing. We then actually, if I go and start to add in the other things, does that get rid of the equipment? No, I've still got the equipment. All right, so I can put the clothes on and then sort of get around the fact that she doesn't have anything on her head. That'll do. Give her that. So we've still got 1 more point. So the clothes are just purely cosmetic. Is that one cosmetic? Yeah, it is. So these are just the overall look of things. Give her dark gloves. Actually, I won't do that. I'll just take them off. And even under the cloak, she can still be wearing other things. There we go. Flesh her out that way. So we've still got 1 more point, which is good. So we can just go back to the talents, and we can then go and pick up 1 more of these. So, initiative for the army or brilliant? Let's go brilliant, because the way we're going to be playing with the game is we actually do have we now have the Dynasty system, and so the more abilities we start off with, the better off we're going to be running through the Dynasties. So let's go and throw that in there. So that's now got all the points selected. So we've got the overview. So this is Dymoth, the Witch. Okay, so let's go and just go next. Oh, hang on. Cancel. Appearance. What do we want to do? Do we want this rusty sword? Let's go to equipment again. So we do have a war staff, which is 2-handed. This is only 1-handed. Look, I think I will take this initially, and rather than anything sort of magical. There is sort of like different magical spells and stuff, which is going to cost me points, which I don't actually have. So I will take this sword. We're not going to be all that strong, so we are going to have to get like a group together. Let's go and start there, I think. So we'll just go next. Actually, I can save that. So we'll go and save her. So Zymoth, and then we just find a suitable sort of pose. Done. So she's now in our system. So we're now into the world creation. I'm going to go random. I'm just going to keep all of these settings in through here just to see how we go. Challenging, moderate. Actually, how big? Medium is 4 to 6 players. That's fine. Pacing normal, which is fine. Magic strength moderate. Random event frequency less often. So you can turn off the random events. So no random events will ever occur for the duration of the game. I might keep that off. I don't tend to like random events that sort of pop up out of nowhere. So let's just leave that one out of there. We've got the quest frequency is balanced. Production pace, yep, that's fine. Everything is sort of moderate. Just go next. So this is the opponent area. Now I'm going to go with more kingdom. We're playing as an empire, so that way we may end up with one other player that we can actually then go and play with. Number of opponents will be 4, so there'll be 5 of us on the actual map itself. Typical intelligence of opponents will be on hard mode, so hard AI is the place for very good strategy game players like us. The AI is used to using the best algorithms to get slight economic advantages, so we'll play that way. And then the opponent's surrender threshold is just going to be normal. So if they really can't win, they will then sort of give up. Victory conditions: conquest, diplomatic, master quest, spell of making. I'll leave all of those in through there. I think I might customize the opponents as to who we play against. No, look, I'll let it go. One of the problems I've had with the game, and I do want to see if they've actually looked at this, is that you can end up with the same faction that you're fighting against. And I think that they should really not have that. It should be that it tries to spread them out. And if we can get other factions now being built by players and into the game, there's no real excuse for that. So we should end up with a lot of different factions to choose from. Anyway, let's just go and play. Creating the world, here we go. Now, one of the things with all the Stardock games is if you don't like the start that you've got, you just press Control-N. I think you've got like a fair number of moves before you decide, no, don't like this start, I'm going to start again. Hi, Click, how you going? So, so you're playing an RPG today, sort of. It's sort of like a strategy RPG. And always hard to get past character creations, says Click. Back over on YouTube, we've got Paul is saying, I find the Animal Tamer, I can't remember what it's called, quite good, as I can capture animal units and add them to my army. That's actually a good idea. Why do you find this game more interesting than, for example, Age of Wonders or Master of Magic? I don't find it more interesting. It's just different. It doesn't compete in the same area. I think that when you look at people actually, presenting the game, that like probably really don't know much about when the game first came out and the history of the game. And I was really early on when Elemental was first sort of announced. I was in the middle of it, and so I know the history like the back of my hand about the actual game itself, and also like it doesn't have the tactical depth of a game like Age of Wonders. But it also does so much more in terms of the storyline type stuff. So it does more RPG, less tactical, is the way it sort of plays. So for people who like the idea of Age of Wonders but find the tactical battles too much, too long, then this is a really good sort of area in through there. In terms of Master of Magic, this is a game that is in one sense similar to Master of Magic. So it's sort of it's probably closer to Master of Magic than it is to Age of Wonders. So I don't see this game at all, other than the fact that it's a fantasy game, really competing in the same area as Age of Wonders. Age of Wonders also is, of course, it's a modern game. So it's like in terms of what it's from, whereas Elemental is being rebuilt from it's been built from the ground up, but it's still using assets from an oldish game. So we end up with sort of things that don't look as polished as Age of Wonders. Also, the team working on it is much smaller than the team working, for example, at Triumph Studios. So it doesn't compete in the same age as Age of Wonders. It's a different game, very different experience. In terms of Master of Magic, it is closer to Master of Magic than it is to Age of Wonders, but it's again just a different sort of game. It's sort of like one of the things I think now with this Dynasty system is, and I'll just click on this one here. By the way, this start is a good start, so I won't restart from here. Actually, having said that, yeah, we do actually have a clay pit there. That's okay. We'll get into this in just a minute. But in terms of, I forget what I was going to say now. I forget what I was talking about. Anyway, the role play. Oh, sorry. Yeah, the approach. I think I've been always trying to think of what's the approach you need to take with these games, and I think with this one, you do go into it with a fairly healthy pinch of role play as you sort of go and play it, and so and developing. Now that we've got the Dynasty system, which is sitting right here, which we'll have a look at in just a minute. In fact, we'll look at that. And one thing I didn't show, damn it, with the creation, I didn't go to the last page, which shows you this is essence. So they've called this essence, but not these, not this little squirrely thing through here. I forget what that's called now. That's called something different. But the essence is what's required. So essence requests represents your sovereign's connection to the magical forces of the world. So this is a unit ability now. So this is why you can't use your old units in this new version of the game. So you do need to go and get. You can still play the game with units that you've created, but you do want to go back in and remake any unit you're going to be playing with. And to be honest, look, it didn't take that long to go and do it. But you need to have this to then be able to use the Dynasty system. So if you don't have that, you can't really then go and use Dynasties. Now, Dynasties, if I just open it up, is this is essentially how we're going to then build a family up. And so as we move through the game, we get presented with likely characters that we can then sort of marry, and then we end up with offspring. The offspring end up with a combination of the different traits that we then actually have. So getting the initial traits now is more important. And it's just at this stage of the game, it's really, all it really is a way for you to get more, a different way for you to get more heroes. That's pretty much all it is, which, but it's a starting point. And I think that this could end up being a really, really major factor in the fun of the game. Like, for example, I could see this being tied into your diplomacy system, things like that. So there could be some really, really interesting developments in the future. This was, and this is sort of like brand new into the game, literally as of an hour and a bit ago. So yeah, it's that's very, very cool. But don't play with your existing characters. You need this essence to be able to interact with that system. So that's actually very, very important. Right, so in we go. Let's have a look. So I'm happy with this one. What I always look for is at least two essence. Well, I'm going to call them essence, but I forget what they're called. I'll have to get my head sort of like used to whatever this new terminology actually is. But when we've got two, it's going to allow me to then build things up. Now, if I move to that one there, I forget how far apart the cities need to be. It just that may be close enough for me to go and build something else. I'm still going to be able to get this eventually, which is fine. And I'm not seeing anything else up there that I can really claim. So I think I might go to that one because we also don't know what's back over through here. We've got a rock spiderling army into that other side. So let's just move across. And there's really nothing back over there. But I'll still go here anyway, just on the off chance that we can still settle over here somewhere. So we'll settle in here. There's a little glitch that pops up every so often on mine than it just did then. I'll have to take a screen grab of that later. Yeah, Paul is in sort of saying, I think one appeal is being able to design custom units. Yes, it is, yeah. And K. Cole is saying 7 spots, isn't it? I'm not sure what you mean by that, sorry. 7 spots. Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, so we've now got the empire has now been formed. And so Hagutz is the capital. We can always just change that if we wanted to. And we now actually have these little slots which are which we can see if I go back into details for the city. Radiance is what it's called. And so I would always go Control N if I don't actually have at least two of those at a start location. These are how we then add magic to the city. So and you've got some that are just like general magic, and then that's the reason that I pick the right from the very, very start to pick the earth magic is to get this +1 material. It's a great way to get sort of like just a bit of a boost along with your building. And then the other one that doesn't cost anything is meditation, which will give you +1 mana per radiance in the enchanted city. I'm glad that they've changed the name all the way through there, actually. That's good. So now we do have the Shadow Warg. So this one here is we can summon a level 1 Shadow Warg. I will be wanting to go and do that as early as I can, but I need to do this one first. So we've got 80 mana, so I can do this one straight away, actually. So we'll add 1 material to the city. We're going to cast the spell. That's now changed the city to have essentially from 1, if we go now to details, I'll try to explain things as we then go through. Materials has now gone from 3 to 4. So it just gives us a lot more ability to then get more production. So the production is actually a feature. This is 8 per material minus whatever unrest we have. So getting rid of the unrest can be, as I said before, like when we were choosing things, having minus 10% unrest across all your cities is actually can lead to a big bonus as your empire gets larger and larger. So, that would have been a good choice as well. So anyway, that's sort of where we are. I'll just go and click on done, but that's the way that one works. Growth is through food in the city. But anyway, let's just go and make now mana. We've got +1 mana coming in natively just from our leader, but that's not enough. So we'll just go back into the spells again, and we'll just go to meditation, cast the spell, and cast that one on there. That's used up both of my radiant slots. We're now getting +3 per turn. I've still got 70 left over, which means I can get the Shadow Walk. So we'll go and do that one now. We'll go into spells yet again. And so this is because we chose the Summoner. We end up with the Shadow Walk ability. So Summon's a level 1 Shadow Walk. This one will... Actually, this is interesting. They're still fleshing out the numbers. So we expect to see this at this point in time in the game. There's still early access, so there's a range problem there with the Shadow Walk. It should only be melee range, so this is a maximum number of tiles the target can be away from the caster. Oh, hang on, I didn't know that. Okay, so we don't know what that actually is through there. Now, the mana maintenance is usually 1, but I don't think we have that one, so let's just go and cast the spell. So I don't think it can actually move it really away from the same army as what she is. So now we actually have 2 units in this army. So the Shadow Warg is, does a fair bit of damage, got pretty good health. Not quite as good health as what she is, but that's sort of at least that's a good start. Now, one of the things also with the game is that, like you save scumming, just do Control S all the time before you go in. If you lose your main character at the start of the game, the pacing's you're going to sort of not be able to explore. But I do want to clear some of these things out. We've got a abandoned village there as well. I wouldn't mind doing that, but I want to get rid of this rock spidling army. So I'm just going to go into Control S and do a quick save of the game. And we still actually have 2 moves into here. So we'll go and take this one on. So you can see down through there, it does actually have a fairly high defense, which we don't actually have, and it does have a fairly high attack. There's only 6 hit points per group. Let's just go to battle. And in reality, what we can do is these guys can actually almost reach us. Let's just move her down. Now, she does actually have some... she's got Curse. Target has no defense for 3 turns unless they resist. Grave Seal, so target will suffer critical hits from all attacks unless he resists. That's 40 mana. I don't want to spend the mana, to be honest, just on this sort of stuff, unless I really have to. This one here, all enemies take 2 damage unless they resist. Not really all that strong at this stage. Infection, each turn negative spell. I won't do any of those. Let's just go and pass. That will then put me, you'll see a little shield appear. So we are now just doing things. I'm just going to go and grab that unit to there, just so I can sort of have one playing at a time, and we're just going to pass there as well. This then puts them into a defensive mode. Okay, she can now move next to it and do the attacks. There we go, that one's been killed. And I'm just going to stay back where I am. So I'm going to use the terrain to help me. And that one's going around the long way. That's going to be fine. Oops, it dodged. We dodged. And the Shadow Walk's done the retaliation strike. Here it comes again. Come back in, please. We're ready for you. So the strategy in the game is I want to make sure I can get 2 shots here. I'll just keep that one going. Tactically, it's actually it's a simple game in comparison to Age of Wonders, but it really doesn't compete in the same area as Age of Wonders. It's sort of more Master of Magic in that sort of sense. But it's still got tactical, there's still a tactical component to it, like even just the way that we played that one out. If we had a rushed forward, which the AI would have done, I think, we would have actually ended up, now we've just gone up a level, I'll talk about this in just a minute. But if we had have gone through with the, and sort of just done what we had have, needed to do in that sense, we would have then exposed our units to multiple attacks coming from different angles. But because we used the terrain, we then were able to play defensively and then just hit them one at a time, which gave us a big advantage. So there's still tactical choices in the actual game itself, but there's no replay button, and I think the game would benefit with having a replay button if you don't like the result of a battle. So just to be able to play it out, as many times as you need to. I think that's where Age of Wonders really sort of did. It made it so much better for players when they actually had the ability to do that one. And there should also be an easy way to load the games back in again. Like there's, I forget what the keyboard shortcut is to load in a quick save. I think there is one, but it's it's difficult to get the load screen, so it's not very helpful in terms of how to play out an actual battle or replay a battle. So we have master the fast attacks that debilitate, ignore defenses, or kill outright. So we've got defender down through here. We've got commander. So minus 15% to the unrest in the city that this unit is in. But the commander's strength is in the armies and cities that they serve. So we can sort of give a boost if we stay inside a city, which is not the best. The mage, we've got minus 25% mana cost for tactical spells and minus 0.25 tactical spell mana cost multiplier. So it's going to cost us less. So others may use spells, but none with the proficiency of a true mage. I'm tempted to go that way, just again for playing the theme. I'm thinking of either assassin or mage, or even commander, not warrior, which is basically a full-blown aggression. I'm thinking mage just for the role play. Being and saying the key to long life is dodge, no matter the class. Yeah, very much so. Actually, assassin would have that. This one does give critical hit chances, but what it does is it opens up a whole tech tree of that you can sort of then move down with each character. So every character in the game will be one of these 5 once they get to level 2. Yeah, these are tactical spells. This is only in combat. Look, I think I'm going to go assassin. I don't think I've played assassin for so long. Anyway, let's go that way. So we've now still got one more movement, and we can actually now go and move into that one through there. We still don't have any construction. We're on season 1, and the game will run forward. If it deems that we've actually done all the movements that we can do, it will then move to the next season, so season 2. And so we don't want that to really happen until we've actually done everything we need to do. So we've got research. What do we have access to? Nothing much in here just yet. So if we just go back across into our research, and research is split up into 3 different areas. Some of these are unique, and I don't know which ones we have that are unique to us. Just go to warfare as an example. So war riding, no, that's not unique. I'm not sure which ones we get. It might be in magic. It looks like we start off with shard harvesting, which is the one I was going to go and get, to be honest. The charms, Ring of Embers, Ring of Life. Got sorcery down here as well. Oh, actually, there's some pretty cool things there. We did go with summoning, and we can get a bound harrigan, which is a giant spider. 99 turns though for that one. So let's go back to civilization and pick up the civics. Will then sort of help with income, and we can get growth through restoration and knowledge. Actually, would be nice to sort of be able to push what we're studying. Let's go that way to start with. So we'll just go and click on done. It's going to take 18 seasons to go and get knowledge. We've only got one research per turn, or 0.8. And the city itself then has to be able to do something as well. So let's just go back into the city. We can either build or train. It goes up into a queue. And I'm thinking that what I want to do is I want to be expanding. So I'm going to go to train. I'm going to grab myself a pioneer unit in 7 seasons. So I'll start off that way. Just go and click on done. And that will at least sort of get us so we can then move, like that cost me 30 population, so I can't do 2 of them like in quick succession. I've still got the 1 move in through here, but I've done everything else that I need to go and do. So let's just now go into this small spider nest. Did that one go up a level? If we go and have a bit of a look at it, we'll just go to the next one. Actually, let's disband. No, we don't want to do that one. Not sure. Level 3, yeah, that went up a couple of levels. Yeah, so this one is leveling up as well. That's actually fine. That's good. Picking up fame now. And +1 common item. Which was the common item? The common item was a confusion spell. So we can use that one once per battle. So we're now out of movement. And we're still in Season 1. So what does it want us to go and do? We can actually just physically end the turn now. I don't think there's much else we need. Oh, hang on, no, the city is still... I mustn't have clicked the button. Hang on, let's just go and train. Pioneer, train, there it is, done. And now it's going to Season 2. Okay, so we've got the Pioneer coming in 6 now. There's another clay pit. These add material to your city. So this would then make the city into a bit of a production location. This is a simple quest, so this is actually how we then get our quests in the game. So we've got a quest into there. This one is a deadly quest, so I'm going to avoid that one. There is sort of more stuff down this way. I can avoid the quest altogether, but let's just go and do it. So, I'll just do a quick save just in case we end up in a fight inside this one. But it stands empty yet restored. So a smooth-tongued opportunist claims he's selling it as a retreat for whoever can still afford peace offerings. So confiscate his offering for the war effort, recruit him to a more useful service, or refuse to indulge the scheme and move on. Now, if I recruit him, that's going to give me another unit, which is actually fairly important. So we'll actually recruit him into what we're doing. You steady him and explain that the world is burning, not buying. He agrees to follow you to where his effort matters. There we are. So we end up with a shaken administrator. And this will be a unit that we can then sort of level up. So if we just go and click on done, now we've got 54. Now this guy here will actually be a group. If we go and click on him, we should then be able to. I don't know if we can do it there. Upgrade there. I need to be inside my own influence to upgrade him. And if we have a look at him, he has got 6 attacks with a club. So he's pretty basic. But let's just get him back to, I think it's 50, and we've got 54. Let's just go back in here. And now we can go to the upgrade. It's 100. Okay, it's 100. But I can actually upgrade his defense. So it gives him a padded vest. But that's the one that I want. I want to get up to 3 troops here and make him into a party. So I'll pay the upgrade for that, but he's going to be very, very weak until we can get him as a group. So we'll come back once we start to make money. I'm going to avoid that one. Let's just start to move down this other side. So we're trying to expand as well. This is the back end of the map. We'll just see if there's other areas we can then expand into. All right, that's done. So we've done all of those. Actually, I'll just go tab. Yep, so this is now the next turn. Pick up the loot. Okay, so we're walking through the debris of an ancient battle. You find an item. It's a dark concoction. So this one is, we can use this one. It's going to give me 1 less hit point, but we're going to get +3 spell mastery and +3 spell resistance. I think I'll take it. So we'll use that one there. So we end up with sort of like better overall stats for the whole game. This looks good. We've got an air shard. We've got a clay pit. There is actually a wolf's army down through there, which is also weak. Just do a quick save. And so we'll start the process of killing off that one. This is the edge of the map, back over this other side. So we'll sort of move along the edge of the map and just to see if we can find other locations for the Pioneer to settle into. But we're trying to just pick up loot at this stage as well. This is something we haven't got the tech yet for the wild wargs, for us to have warg riding. So we're back in here, another quick save because we're going into a battle. Now this is, I'll just go and battle this one out. I want to save this guy. So I'm going to move in. I'm going to use her as a bit of a, there we go, Xymorph critical. And then we have the Shadow Warg, which is stronger than the just normal wolves. So they're going for him. Alright, so he's in a lot of trouble. So I'm going to run him away, and we're going to have to kill off these two. Well, actually, even if he runs, we don't really have anything we can then go and do. Can use rush. Take an extra action. Okay, that killed one of them. Oh, not good. Got him. Okay, that was a bit lucky. So we want to try to keep him alive while we until we can get 100 gold. So we picked up a bit of loot there. Minor mana potion there. Let's just go back in here. This then gives us even more of the fame. So 12 gold. So what are we up to now? We're up to 54 again. Let's go and have a quick look at the sorry, not the essence, the family tree. So we still haven't been presented with anyone just yet. And equipment cache there. Let's just go and grab that. Okay, find a valuable item, spider venom stack. So this is melee attacks also do 1 poison damage per round of the victim. Yes, let's go and do that. So this is all being put onto our main hero. Yep. So there we go. Sapio's saying 40 minutes for turn 2. Hey, it wouldn't be one of my streams if we didn't spend a lot of time at the start. We are moving along though now. We're moving at pace. The pacing of the game is actually very, very good. So anyway, let's just go and what have we got? We're still back up to 3 turns. So when there's nothing to do, it'll just keep on rattling through the turns. Now, he's actually taken a big damage, and we do actually have this wolf in here. I'm going to leave him out of this. So I'm just going to go and grab those two. I'm not sure how far that one can go on its own anyway. I think I might move this one down and just get it back inside. He's not going to be all that helpful in the fights until we can sort of level him up. Just auto-resolve this one. She's leveled up now. Actually, maybe we do bring him back now. So this is now the next phase of what we then actually have. So she's now gone to level 3. And so we've actually got the specific assassin things that she can then go and do. So, for example, take aim, ability that grants that grants +4 stamina, and then that leads on to assassin strike. We've then got the chainmail proficiency, but she's got to be level 4 to be able to use that. That will then allow her to use chainmail items. This is precision, so +5%, +5 accuracy, and then dodge, so +4 to dodge, which is very, very useful. That's another +5 to dodge there. And so there's other different things in through here, acrobat levels and stuff like that. So she'll be able. This is going to be probably the area that we end up going through. But initially, we have a few things in here which are extremely useful. One of them is this one here to get 15% experience. So that gets us to level up very, very quickly. The other one is this one here, which is healer. So +3 to the army's health regeneration per season. I'm going to take the first one. So this is just like a general area. Choose potential. So she'll end up with that a little bit, and then we'll just move back in there again. Pack defeated, just so we know that's another 12 gold, 2 fame. So we're picking up extra fame as well. We just want to pick up as many of these things as we possibly can. We're up to 67, and we know that we need to get up to 100 to actually get this one back into where we need to be. Let's just move him back in. Hi, Quark, how you going? And Tenru, hi, and Shiradurlin. So Adrian's saying, can you leave him in the city? You can, but there's no real benefit just having a unit in the city other than to defend it. So there's some heroes give benefit if they're in the city. Now we've got this one. Now we know that there's nowhere to settle down this way, so I'm gonna move up in this other direction. These can't go onto these locations. Yeah, we haven't seen much around here actually, which is interesting. So we've got a staff +4 attack. I don't know why we wanted to swap that one, so I'm just going to click on OK. Another Wolf's Army there. Just 2 units there. This helps us all the time with our fame. Now we need to, we can't move any further than that one. Let's just leave that one where that is. This one here has still got 3 moves. I will just pop it in here. Actually, is it healed up now? Yeah, it has. Almost. Still at 68. I'll just leave him floating around. Ultimately, once I get him leveled up, we're going to then be able to use him to sort of just help to explore. The other one can't move, so we go back to the city now. If I press tab, I can then just tab through anything that still has movement or actions to do. And so I'm going to now, if I go back to train, I can't do a pioneer anymore because we don't have enough of the population left to go and build one of those. Now I can also build a bound widow, which is a fairly powerful spider. So we can start to sort of build these sorts of things. These are units that we can actually then use in our armies, which will be useful, but not just yet. So let's just go back to build. And so the sorts of things we want to be building through here, the merchant to get our money up a little bit will be important. It's only 5 seasons for that one. The workshop is going to give me production per material of another +1, so it'll make it a little bit easier to build different things. The monument back through here will give me a zone of control, which will give me this. That's actually very, very worth it. So very worthwhile to go that way. So it's only 5 seasons as well. The cleric will then reduce unrest and give me +2 fame. Let's go with the monument. We're going to expand there anyway when we start to build. Let's go to the merchant and build it just there. We're going to push the city out towards this location. And doing that possibly will leave him in the city. No, that's okay. All right, so they're now being built in 4 more turns. Just got to find locations that we can settle. And we'll just go to battle here again as well. Shouldn't have any real problems with these. It's been poisoned and then the poison drained it away. There we go. Easily done. Okay, only 8 gold. Here we go. So we've got another location now. And there's a 3. Okay, near that crystal. Ideal. That is absolutely ideal. We have to be a little bit careful. These spawn wanderers, as do these. So, 1, 2, and I can get there. Now, I'm going to settle here. And I've got 3 essence slots there, which is absolutely enormous because I'm ultimately going to be able to build very, very strong armies at this location. So Tenor is saying, how's the new content? It's very, very cool. And we've now got workshop support and we've got dynasties. We haven't sort of had the dynasties come up yet. We'll see a little number shown next to dynasties when we actually are presented with someone that can be part of our faction. So we've done that one, and then we've got the unit events. You've done all that stuff. So let's go back to our spells and just scroll back up. So definitely want enchanted hammers here. And we're going to get another +3 mana here as well by using meditation. Cast the spell. And we have one more that we can then go and add in. And so we've got the Aura of Might. So all units trained in the city are +1 defense per radiance. So that gives me a +3 defense slot for them automatically. Merchant's Blessing, so increases gold production in the city by 25%. Oppression, so reduces unrest in the city by 10%. That's actually, again, a good one. And then we've got Scholar Sanctum, so this generates +2 research per turn. It's not per radiance slot, though. I always like to, end up with the per radiances, but we don't need to be building anything in here just yet. So if we got more research, more knowledge, that would actually really accelerate us along. Let's go and use that. So we're down to just 3 mana now, after all that. 77 there. He must be, he's back inside here again. The Shaken Administrator. Let's get him to wander down this way and just see what he can find. And now that we've got that second city, we need to try to make it contiguous. There's a lot of loot in here, so we'll actually go and bounce back this way. Get rid of these rock spiderlings. As we go up levels, we get more and more powerful. We can... Who else needs to go? This first city here. So Blackstead. Now we do actually have a Crystal Crag here, which is going to allow us to build magical equipment. We don't need to get it initially though, so we can sort of come back for that one. So we'll go to train, and we can't get the Pioneer, so we can't get this one as well. We need 20 mana to do that one. So let's just go and go back to build. And again, we have the same sort of thing. What do we want to be doing here? We don't need to be expanding as such, but I do want to start to get the borders to touch the other borders eventually. So we'll sort of be wanting to move. Actually, is there? Hang on, let's just right click. We have another Crystal Crag over there. And we do actually have a Fire Shard there. If we built the city out, probably don't need to do that. And then we've got wild horses there as well. So I'll be able to build an outpost in there to capture all of that. So I don't need to have the city do that. It's more important that the city start to extend back down to connect with this city. There's nothing really of great value down this way. Oh, there's a hero there that we could pick up. We only have 6 fame at this early stage. But anyway, let's just go back in here. We're just going to go into build again. And... we can build a fair few things here. The biggest problem we're going to have here is the unrest. It's 37. You can see there that we've got unrest is it's 42, but we have the city count penalty now. The more cities we have, the more unrest we actually have, and also we have a +15 if we're not connected to the capital. So we'll actually go back to the workshop. I think I'll go over a workshop here just to try to get better production over time. So that sort of works. Workshop coming in 10 more turns. Merchant over here in 2 more turns. I want to get this clay pit just so I can get more production. And there was another clay pit there, which I wouldn't mind grabbing as well. Let's just keep these going. The city development is actually pretty cool in the game as well. It's a nice, comfortable position for it. It's not crazy. Crew Club, I'm not going to worry about that one. And we've still got one more move. Let's just go and clear out these. Now this is actually where we end up. We've got a little Darkling army there, but this guy probably can't really do that. So I'm going to leave him away from that. So we've got wandering stacks now spawning from locations that we sort of saw back over here. So I think I'll just move him back into this mode until we've got 100. Battle initiation. Your settlement of Blackstead is under attack. This is now we've only got 2 militia here, but we do actually have a lot of attack strength. So let's go into the actual battle itself. So they've actually spawned and are coming in. Good, we dodged. That's okay. Yeah, these guys shouldn't have any real problems with this. I'm hoping. Here we go. Good, another dodge. Our units are good at dodging the wraiths. good. Down to just one. It can be really annoying when you get a wandering stack comes in and destroys your defences. You lose the city if that happens. Okay, so they're done. I'll take that loot. The spider was wrapped in something. Okay, so we've just got Dancer's Potion. We can't make use of that one. It's actually used in combat. Look, I'll go this way to start with. Soldier's Cloak. This is going to give me plus 10 spell resistance. I'll equip it and then have a look at it and just check it and sort of see what's going on with that. We're still at 83. We're still not getting quite enough gold. This looks interesting up through here. Gold deposit. Actually, that's very, very useful. Who else needs to still work? I'll just pass this one. New technology researched. So we now have knowledge. So we can now go and produce the study. So we'll open up research again. So we can get the civics and things pretty quickly now. What about magic? 32 for sorcery. Warfare. Training will give me plus 1 army size, which I don't need just yet. Leatherworking would be a good one for us, actually. We get the Sentinels of Hagudst to actually, so that would be sort of like a force that we'd then be able to bring back in. I think I'll go back to Civilization, and we'll just get these easy ones. Might just sit back inside the city for now, until we can actually sort of get him leveled up properly. 5 gold. Now these here are weak, but there's a lot of them. This is another one where I'd probably be wanting to just do a quick save, but I think what I'll do is I'll come back down this way. Now we do actually have our first city is now finished off that building. So we'll just go back into build again. And again, I'm thinking the workshop would be useful. I'll just build it here. Actually, we're so close to this one now. I'll just build it out. There we go. We've got that one now that we can then go and get. So I'm just going to go and pick up this and build that. That will then join the queue. So that'll be in there. That will then give me even more material. So we can build even more stuff from in there. So let's go and just get the other loot. Heals 12 hit points. We don't need it. Where's recall scroll? We don't need that either. This is always good, so we get plus 1 dodge, so we'll use that. And we've still got one more, so we'll just clean this one out as well. Soldier's gloves, plus 5 accuracy, we'll equip that as well. Alright, so they're done. Now we do actually have a champion is not adjacent to any of your units or cities, so we'll find out what this one is. This is going to be too expensive for me though, but I would like to be trying to get the champion that's there. So we've got this little group. I'll just again do a quick save. I wish the game again would actually have this the ability to just save before you go into battle. We'll just battle this one manually. And the warg, I don't want to be blocking this off, so I'm just going to stay back where I am. Just leave one there. Okay, I'll move you. Oh, it's too far around. Just going past this. So you get extra attack bonuses. It doesn't sort of show you exactly what they are, but you do get attack bonuses by having multiple players, or not multiple pieces next to the target. Other 2 fame. We're up to 10 fame. You just scroll to heal all the allies. Okay, that's fine. New suitors await. Here we go. So this is actually the new Dynasty system. So words of your deed spread far and wide. So we've got to 10 fame there. New suitors now a step forward to join your dynasty. And so we can now build up our dynasty. So we get taken to the Dynasty tab. And we should see, where are they? Find a partner for your sovereign. Here they are. Excuse me. Okay, so we've got Darian. Now these are common. We've got one that's rare. So we've got Darian, who is a Crack's Blood, an administrator, cunning, ambitious, and a merchant. So it's important that we sort of find. Now this one's going to cost me 15 fame. Auric is going to cost me 18 fame. Ioneer Blood. So more. This is more of like a kingdom. That's one there. Cracks is an empire. Not that it matters much. This is sort of where it's a little bit like Game of Thrones, where the actual the wraiths aren't like they're sort of like dark elves to a degree, but in reality they're just like they're a different type of human faction, which is where the dynasty system I think now works fairly well, just from a theme perspective, because you can interbreed with any of the other kingdoms, etc. So it is just still just human, but human in the same way that the Game of Thrones or the Song of Ice and Fire books sort of portray the various areas, like the different kingdoms, the 7 kingdoms. So it's the same sort of deal in through here, I think. So and here we've got Ioneer, Earth Apprentice, Master Craftsman. Wow, that's actually pretty good. Defender, Merchant. This one costs 35. I'm not going to be able to get that one easily. So really, Darian is probably the easiest one for us to go and get eventually. So these are the suitors that are currently there. So we'll just click on done. Actually, what else can we do here? What other spells have we got? We're up to 38 again now. Nature's Cloak. Target unit receives 20% resistance versus fire, lightning, and cold damage. It's very, very particular. Steal a spirit, steal a spell trait from an allied champion. Yeah, actually, that's not what we want either. So no, there's nothing else really there. Yep, that's okay. We already have what we need there. So we're saying, quest's the only way to get fame. No, you can get them all sorts of different ways. I can actually buy. I can build buildings. It will give me not fame per turn, but just when we build the building, it will give me a bunch of fame. So so you can get fame up that way, but typically it's through doing fights. So this ruffian army, for example, if we just go and take this one on, I'll just go and do a quick save here. That should then boost the fame up a little bit. So we'll go to battle. So they've got a wolf. I can't quite reach the wolf, but I can reach this guy. So he's now been poisoned. Yeah, the fame system though is quite important. Yeah, we've got a level up there now with Zymoth. Shadow Warg is slowly getting experience, but it's only at level 3. Okay, so we now have the next one. Now I do want to pick up the healer. What do we get over there? This is Inner Radiance, so +1 essence. So I've still got 9. So I've got 9 essence there. That's new. I haven't seen that before. Let's go this way. Choose the healer. And so there we go, the +1 fame there. We didn't get any loot from this one, but there's a practice sword. That's 12 attack. Yeah, so we'll equip that one. That's better than our current crappy sword. We now have civics, which is good. So we'll open up research again. trading will give us roads, administration. I think we'll go restoration just to get growth. Again, it's nice and simple. Heavy shot capable of smashing walls. I find that this didn't work last time, and it's something that I am wary now of using again. Got a wolf's army down there again, and another. I've got a bear cub up there. Okay, so you need 115 fame to recruit this champion. You have 11. So not great. Let's just keep on sort of clearing out the areas around us. So we're over 100 now. Let's go back to this group and go to upgrade. We'll now bring them out. So we now actually have like a fairly useful little group just to come and join us. And we've got one more move there. I'll just move up this way. Okay, once we actually hit the level 2 for our cities, we get to choose what direction the city is going to then go and take. And so we've got 3 different directions. The conclave gives us more, it's more to do with research and with magic. So it's sort of like a mage's tower. A fortress is more to do with enabling the ability to build stronger armies. So we end up with sort of like money to defense and military pursuits. And then we have a town, which is mainly to do with money. And I'm thinking, because we've got 3 essence slots in the city above, which would be ideal for a fortress, I think. Ultimately, that would be a good fortress. So I don't need to have too many fortresses, but I do need to generate wealth. And so if I go with town here, I should then be able to push that side of things a little bit. So let's go and make this into a town. It's a bit boring, but that's what we'll end up doing with Hagutst. That becomes a square symbol there, so we can very quickly see what's, if I zoom back out, we'll sort of be able to see when we see the names of the cities and stuff. Circle means it hasn't chosen yet. Square means it's a town. So that's sort of where we are with that one. Right, so this group into here is going to then end up joining up with this one. Let's just go and hit this bear cub to start with. Actually, before I do that, I'll just go and cancel, do a quick save. Again, I wish that there was a button, after you finish the thing to see if you wanted to replay it again. I'll just auto-resolve. So that's done. That's another +1 fame. A war staff. I think wooden staff used to... yeah, I won't worry about that one either. Let's not worry about it. Let's just go this way. Found an item. Wine, that's okay. And we've still got 2 more slots here. And then this one here is just going to come up and join the army again. Alright, so we've got better survivability now with this particular little army. Still got this, you can see that the Dynasty now has got the three suitors, 3 suitable candidates. But to get to 35 fame is going to be a bit too much. So I will be wanting to try to get maybe to... Which one do we want? They're both administrators. This one's cunning. Cracks blood. +8 defense when under 50% hit points. A merchant, +1 gilder per season. And ambitious, +1 materials per turn. That's actually not bad. And then Auric. Resourceful, +1 materials when stationed in a city, so he's got the same sort of deal. Earth Apprentice back and through there, we've already got ourselves as that. Ioneer Blood, not going to help that much. Administrator and Resilient. I actually think Darien is going to be the better option, to be honest. So we just need to get to 15, 3 more fame. Just clear out 3 more of these areas. So we'll pick up at least 1 here. What do we need to do? The city here needs construction. The crystal, if I build this one here, it's going to Like at least, I mean, we're going to need to do that anyway at some point. But let's just go back into training again. Grab another pioneer, I think. Do a quick save. There's a lot of hit points here with the Darkling army. So they do actually have a commander, like a lurker. Let's go to battle. So that's him back there. They often don't do a lot of damage, whereas these guys are more likely to actually do the actual damage. They got rid of one of them. They are poisoned though. This could be a tricky battle. Good. This is where they're going to be helpful. Now that one's protecting itself, so it's got its armor up, whereas this one here, you can see there the damage difference, but it's because it didn't actually fight anything. This one here, it's got a hit chance of 89%, so we can still hit it, but damage is only 4 to 8, whereas the damage on this one is 6 to 13. So I'll take it into here. Almost got that one killed. She gets another turn because she's got higher initiative. So now I can get down to the lurker, but I need to get rid of these guys. We've got 8. That was actually not too bad. They're going after those guys, which are not. They're going to ultimately be okay. Chase these down. There we go, critical hit. So that was good. They leveled up, so they're now level 2, which will then just give them more hit points and better abilities. Shadow Walk has also gone up a level to level 4 now, so that'll give him more hit points as well. Click on done, and that was good. So another +1 fame, we're up to 13. Got restoration now, so we can build the garden. Build smelters with that one. Let's go to warfare. Let's get this one here. You know, I'm probably thinking I probably should have made that into a conclave. We need to get another city up and running, but we're not finding any locations. It's more crystal. A quick save. This Shadow Warg is still slightly damaged. Too much trouble there. Okay, so she's now gone up another level. Now we do actually have +1 initiative there. I think we'll go to the assassin areas and we'll just get the extra dodge. We don't actually have any, we haven't found any chainmail anyway. Let's go that way. Choose dodge. So slowly build her up. Another +1 fame. We're almost ready. We've got one more growth potion. That will give me the fame that I need. Oh, somebody else is up there. Nope, I don't know what that was. Alright, so I think that looks like there was somehow one of them died. No, there's nothing there. Unless someone attacked them. No, they're all okay. Not sure what's going on there. Just do a quick save again. So we'll just auto-resolve this. So these took a bit of damage, but again, that's actually okay. So they took half damage there. There we go, 15 fame. Lair cleared. So the bandit outpost has been cleared. You find stolen goods and gain recognition. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Adept's robe, I won't worry about that one. So we've actually now got, we can now go to the Dynasty, go to marriage, and go and get Darien. So Darien is now available to us. So it's going to cost me one of my remaining essence slots, and we've got 15 through here. So we've got the 15 fame required to actually pick him up. Now we don't spend the fame. The fame just keeps on accruing through the game. So this is sort of like our score with how well we're doing as the leader. So yeah, I think we'll actually propose. Cost us one essence. So he is now married to Zymorph, and so they will then start to have children. The children will then grow into heroes as well, and the heroes will then take a combination of their abilities. So we start off. This is now the start of the actual family tree. So this is a very, very new thing in Elemental, like in the way that this one now sort of plays out. So it's a this is like where we start to sort of see, I guess, the new innovations that they can now put into the game. And I think this could be fleshed out in a really, really cool way. So I'm looking forward to sort of seeing where that one actually ends up. Just go and grab this. God, we're not finding very many locations for cities, which is a bit of a shame. Codex of Hoston. What does this one give us? +1 spell mastery. Yeah, I'll use that. Why not? Still got more things back over here. Let's move off in this direction. Just in case there's something else up this way. And then our first city. Now the first city is going to have Darien inside it. So we saw there that Darien, if we go and have a look at his abilities, actually where is he? If I double click his name, we can then go to the actual traits. So he doesn't have any traits yet. He's only level 1. Skills. So he does have merchant, +1 Gildar per season. Administrator, -10 unrest in the city that he is in. +1 materials per turn when stationed in a city. And cunning, so +1 Gildar. So we're going to end up with a boost to our gold with him actually in the city itself. But I'm thinking that I'd prefer the other city to ultimately be the city that needs to be sort of looked after, the city up through here. So I'm going to go and grab him. And we do actually have to run the gauntlet here a little bit. Yeah, they won't move off very far. 1, 2, 3. I can get up to there. So I'll put him in charge of the other city. Okay. So he'll go into this city and look after that one. I could actually send him out and about to... they do pick up a little bit of experience. In fact, I might get him to go and travel with Zymorph's army. It's Wolf. Yeah, we can't do anything else there. Back to the city and through here. So training again with pioneers. I think we'll go and just keep on getting more and more. Actually, I don't really need to do that. I will go back to build. The Bound Widow is actually a good one, you know. Yeah, I might throw that one in the mix. Let's get that one now. So we have enemies in our territory. They're not really a threat. And we've got nowhere for these to do anything. It's a real unknown. I'm going to have to ultimately use these as explorers. Oh, hang on. He was going to go up and just to get him leveled up as fast as possible. I will put him with the other group. Oh, hang on. That wasn't what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Nothing else we can do there. Against the onerous penalty from the number of cities in your empires. This will be important. Allowed one per civilization. So this is ultimately going to be where we want to be building things. So this is actually ultimately going to be our most important city. That's not that important just yet, though. Yeah, I'll move him off initially to join the others. Pioneer Party, let's just see what they can find. Quick save here. Bit more complex. Let's just go to battle. I'm trying to block them off. They're going around the other side. It's dead. Nice and easy. They've gone up another level. It's good. Yeah, if I just press, I can just press tab to go through all of the different units that we can then go and do. So Darien is still coming to the north. Flame wave scroll. Okay, that's fine. Item, candle cloak scroll, and then we've got the giant, the bound widow. So this is sort of like a giant spider for us. That should be able to take this guy out, I think. There's another wandering group in there. Coming out of the woodwork here. Okay, I'll just do a quick save. Let's see how we go. I did poison it. That should die. Yeah, it did with the poison. Not good. Yeah, that was a bit lucky. Anyway, we cleared them out of our territory. So we've got to move them up to the army. So this is another group of wolves that have somehow wandered in from somewhere else. It's funny, I really thought we'd find something else here. Now, what do we have here? This is just a Nen Ratcatcher. You can see there hardly any skills. So I think we might claim him, but we're going to be able to do it. Our fame is low enough that that's not really going to be a problem. So let's just move across. Well, we'll go and get him next. Training completed. Yep, so we did that one. Enemies in the territory have now gone. And we'll just go to build. there. I'll take that. This is such good location. If there was, if we could just build a city in here. I might have a bit more of a look around. Oh, hang on. You need 77 fame to recruit this one, so we're miles off. I'm really surprised that oh, there's another group. Lord Markin's army. So this is from, if we go and talk with them. Yeah, this is Gildan. So they're a kingdom. They're not going to really like us over time. So we have come across them. So we'll just keep on sort of moving our way through. That's the edge of something. Okay, so Zymoff's army. We'll just do a quick save and auto-resolve. Okay, Potion of Wisdom. Skull Cap. Now this will be given across to our main hero if I do this one, so I'm just going to go and click on OK. I'll go back to Darian and then go to equip, so it doesn't work for him. So I'm going to go and throw that on him, as well as this cloak. We did find up some other things. He's got the rusty short sword, which is about as good as we've got, to be honest, at this point in time. This one, the catapult ammo, I don't think that's going to be all that helpful. We can't use that one, must be a mage. Okay, we'll click on that one. Actually, the venom sack. You might as well have that as well. Done. Okay, well, we'll just keep on clearing up this territory, I guess. We're not finding anywhere to set up a city. Do a quick save here. It's going to be a little bit more tricky for us. 5 of them. It's going well so far. Alright. Can't really do much else there. Let's just move this one back up. That's fine. Okay, well, that was easier than I thought it was going to be. So she's gone up another level. Now, if I do this one here, First Aid unlocks the following ability. So First Aid in battle heals target a unit by 2 per level of the caster. This can be a useful one, but let's just go back to get even more dodge. Choose dodge level 2. Now that is what we're looking for. So that's another city back and through here ultimately. Let's have a bit of a sneak in. Yeah, that's the best spot there. Now we're going to need to protect this city, I think. So we will. I should really start to build up armies to get them across there. So let's just go and settle in here. Settling here would cost 1 essence to restore the marginal land for habitation. Do you wish to proceed? It's funny. It should be saying one of the one of these. Actually, no, it is essence. Yes, we settle that one. Yeah, that's true. That's okay. Forget that. Now we actually do have a death shard here. So this is for death spells. Now we don't actually have anyone yet that can actually do that. So this is Geddon's. No construction here just yet. Start to go and build things up. And we'll grab the merchant. I'll just move off in this direction. We need to start to clear out the land around us. Let's go back to the sort of standard view. We need to get this one constructing fairly well. I don't know whether I should. I think I'll just keep on trying to get the level ups and stuff. Yeah, we've done everything we can there. Let's just press tab. Okay, and build again. I've got the well, which is going to give me food bonus. That's actually a good one. The grocer is going to give me faction food per grain of +5. Again, the growth is something that I do want to just keep on building up. So that's 12. The study is actually something I also want to be grabbing. It's 11 seasons to do that one. The bell tower to get our unrest down. Yeah, we've got that one there, which will actually increase our fame as well. That one doesn't. These both reduce the unrest. I think I'll go the well to start with. Umber. Okay, so pleasure to meet you, Kulin. So Umber is a empire like us. So we can sort of see down through there. We're coming in with 11 points. Umber has only got 5, and Gildan is 12. So they're sort of they're leading the game at this stage. If I got a outpost in here, I'd pick that one up. But I sort of feel I'm going to be able to push these borders back together fairly soon. And we then have this unit. So I'm going to give us +50 experience. We'll use that. We do have a medium cave there. Okay, we don't need that. Okay, keep them together, and then hopefully this one can then join up for this next fight. So Blackstead. So start to just try to keep on building this one up. I'm going to grab this one here now, just so I don't accidentally build it somewhere else. So we'll push it down towards the other city. Kill that one off. Caster staff. Okay, so we don't actually have anyone that can really use that one just yet properly, so we'll leave that one back there. Sort of worried about this one being out on its own. We've sort of cleared out everything else around there. Look, I'll bring it up to the army. It's a girl, there we go. So a girl has been built to Zymoth and Darian, inheriting the magical essence of her parents. Choose a name. So again, the names are not good. Farandror. Fanadri, that'll do. I hope that they look at that at some point and fix that up. That would be good if they did. I'm going to start to now move around the other side of this mountain and just come back in and clean all this stuff out. Okay, Sev has redeemed a custom reward. Some mighty hero. Well, I've only got one at this stage, which is Darian. I don't even know if I can rename him. Oh yeah, there we go. Sev. Done. So how goes a new run? Very impressive actually with the changes that they've made. So very impressive. I mean, I enjoy the game anyway. Just keep on getting this loot. We're in a world though with not very many locations for us to leave things. Okay, we'll just go and geez, we're almost there now as well. That would be useful here. I do need to keep on pushing up. Get the lair cleared. Spider colony being exterminated. Oh, cool. We've got leather working now, so we'll open up more research. Weaponry will then give me even better weapons. Training, I think I'm going to go this way. Although magic. Sorcery down through here. It's 31 for that one. I think yeah, I don't know, like it's sort of one of these things. If I go back to here, if I go back to trading, this will then give me roads. I think I might take that way, actually, just get that one done. So we now learnt the recipe for leather armor, which will now be in our crafting menu. So as we find different things, so making leather armor, we do actually have enough to craft one of these, which will give me defense +6. Let's go and craft one and give it to Sev. If we just go and click on done and then have a quick look at the stack. Who's that? Yeah, so she's Gildan as well. Yes, he now has this leather armor, giving him 6 defense. Guiding spear is possibly better. Let's give him that as well. There's the border, and that's a road. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Another girl. Okay, so we've now got tuber. Dallin, that'll do. Yeah, they've got to do something about that. Now that's a strong pack drake group, which we cannot kill off. So these have got, these are very, very strong. Incredible hit points. So we want to keep them well away from where we are. Oh, there's not enough space for that one. I need to do that. Need to get that that other one done in that case. So I need to go back to warfare and get training. So I'll do that just so I can get the army size up. So I'll still keep it sort of just wandering around with me. Oh, they're right next to us. And they've set that up as a yeah. Okay, this looks to be inside their territory. Do a quick save here. Kill off these reavers. There's 4 of them. Go to battle. This one may not go well. That one's down. I'm going to run this one away. It will be able to get across there, I think. It's not going to be able to get through to there. Good. Got him. Alright, took a bit of damage there, but everything else was good. So she's gone up another level. Let's go back to Assassin again. So then we have +1 dodge per level again, so we get even more dodge. She did take damage though, which was interesting. And, then we just move this one across. I think we'll be wanting this city. I think that would be good for us. It's in our territory. Yeah, they're actually building up units now as well. Cenotaph, I think, is that an actual unit? Yeah, it is. Got monument, and then they've got produce wealth after that. Maybe too early at this stage to go to war with them. What do you guys reckon? Should we go to war? So Sedghammer is saying a death start. Yeah, pretty much. Sorry, I'm missing a few of the comments here, guys. Okay, so sorry, I'm missing heaps of comments here. I think. What do you find this game more? Yeah, I've done that one. Oh, sorry, the spot. 7 spots. Right, in between settlements. You're right. Yeah, sorry. God, it's been ages since I've looked at this. Can you live in the city? I think we did that one. Used to play War of Magic back in the day. Such a fun game. Yeah, this is so improved. It's they've really sort of built things from the bottom up. Like they've rebuilt. Like they've sort of essentially just used the assets, but have changed everything into 64-bit rather than 32-bit. So there's a lot that they can do in this game now. It allows them to really sort of put everything into the game that they wanted to put in originally that they just couldn't. You can upgrade that other unit now, Daz. So can I make that into one of the other groups that we have, or is it just for money? I don't think I can change the class that it's in. Yeah, I mean, it's outside influence, yes, but I think we did that one. So that must have been from would be the upgrade. So Adrian's saying, how do you see which location is good for the city? Okay, what I'll show you is I'll start again, and I won't play the start again, but I'll just show you essentially like when you are playing the game, what to look for. So if I'll do a actual save here. I wish there was a save button in here, but you have to go back to the main menu. No, hang on. I was there. Continue. Escape. There is a save. There's no load. That's what it is. So we'll save this one. And if I just go back out, main menu, just go into new game. So again, just if you are watching this and you've already got the game, then just be aware that when you build new characters, if you've got old characters that you had actually brought in from previous runs, they're not going to have the essence. I don't actually have any here. I got rid of all of mine. But when you go back to create a character, just make sure that you end up with the essence that we saw at the top of the screen. I'm not sure where we see that one. Talents, attributes. I mustn't show it in here. But there's like, you do need to sort of start off with the actual essence slots. I'll just cancel that one. Let's go back out. If I choose the same character again, it doesn't matter which character you want. You pretty much looking for the same thing no matter which faction you play. If I just go into next, I'll just keep it exactly the same settings that we've got. It does remember what your settings are, which is good. It's funny you say good. I mean, that should just be standard in games, but it's actually not. I'm just going to grab myself a drink of water. Be right back. All right, so there's only 3 city resources that really matter. Oh, actually, there's more than that. But to evaluate if a place is a good starting location, you'll see that there's loot, which we won't get any benefit from other than walking across them. We do actually have other areas around the city. For example, this is Twilight Bees. This is actually really, really powerful. What this one does is reduces the unrest for every city in your location. So that's actually a good location there. We also then have a life shard. That will change to a death shard when we claim it, when we play one of the empires, like one of the sort of more evil type groups. And we have wild grain there. So build a farm here to provide an additional grain for your city. So we know that we can upgrade our city pretty readily just by having that location. Under this location here, you'll see it's got 5, 3, and then 1. The first one is essentially food, and so so that one there does. This one, build a farm here to provide an additional grain. So the first one, there is grain. So we've got 5 grain. That will then make it 6 grain, which will then improve our health. So the city will grow extremely quickly with that one through there. With that little bit of unrest there, it's not too bad as well. And and then we've got only 3 materials, so it's going to be slow building, and we've got nowhere to actually sort of improve our building. Like with 3, it's going to take a long time. The reason I like having an essence slot is because I can actually then use that essence slot to boost that if I wanted to. I could come down into here where it's got 4 production, like 4 materials. So you can see that over through here there's only 1 food but 5 materials. But the essence slots really are the key, I think, to planning your city. So if let's just say I did settle there. And just leave that one there. I can then use that 1 essence slot, that little dip there, to go and use a spell. So I can, depending on what spells I have available, I can then just go and put a hammer in there, cast a spell, and then that will give me 1 more material. So I've now got a 5/4 city, and then I can get rid of that at some point and then put something else in there. So those slots are really, really worth it. Like they're quite important, those radiant slots. So you can see down through here, again, this is the summary of what we end up having. The food is a production of the grain that we end up having. So we're getting plus 25 per grain, and we've got 5 of them. So the population at this stage is chewing away 30 of it. So we've got a lot of extra food. So this is going to then give us very, very high growth. Growth up through here. We have a large surplus. So we're getting 416% surplus. So it's giving us plus 3 growth. So the more food we have coming in, the more we do those. with the 5 grain that we actually end up having. Materials 4, but one of them is from the enchanted hammers, and so that's going to give us production. And again, you can see there are 8 materials, but then we lose a little bit through unrest. So the unrest sort of kicks off that one, and the Gildar also, which is a factor of the taxes, minus, like I think there's also a negative there somewhere with the, I thought that the unrest did something negative there as well. Anyway, that's sort of, but let's just say I'm not happy with that one. Let's just say I play a little bit and think, oh, this is a pretty bad location. And to be honest, because I couldn't find any city spots around where we were, I was actually thinking, oh, I really may have to start again, but we're not going to. But if you go Control N, this is in any of the Stardock games, like whether it be Gal Civ or any of them really, just go Control N, it'll then just restart the game. So I've just done that now. And so keep on doing it until you actually find a good spot. Don't just choose, don't just put up with what you end up having. So there's a 3-3-2. The 3-3 is a little bit light. We do actually have a crystal crag, which will allow us to build magical armor. So again, it's a bit of a combination of what else we find. There is actually some wild wargs, not really going to help us all that much. So this isn't a fantastic place, just simply because having the 2 there is useful. But usually you can do better than that. Let's just go and do a couple more. And see what we end up with. Yeah, Sever's saying resource scarcity makes for interesting gameplay. It would indeed, but you don't have to. Like in this case, I've got a 3-4-2. I've got a 4-3-2. Do we want production, or do we want the actual growths? Which way do we want to go there? And what else do we have over that side? There's a 3-3-3. Like that's really, really cool. And the reason it's so cool is that ultimately when we get more spells, like we've got, for example, Aura of Might. All units trained in the city get +1 defense per radiance. That gives them 3 defense extra than what they would normally have. And then we've got other spells that we'll actually release during the game to then allow us to build extremely strong armies. So that 3-3-3, it's a slow start, but it's a very, very powerful position. So that for me is where I'd be wanting to sort of start off. I do end up with the wild wargs there again. I do actually have a death shard right there as well. I've got a iron mine which I'm going to be able to get access to. That will then sort of just give me iron for the units. So there's some good stuff there, some really good stuff. So that would be for me pretty much an ideal position. I'll try to roll one where I would be automatically restarting. I'll just do one more and just see what we get. So Adrian's saying, can we see the specifications of the land you're settled on? Yes, I can show you that. It will change. There's a 4-3-2, there's a 3-3-3. Great. Like that would again be where there's another 3-3-3 over there. So what between those two, what do we have? We've got ourselves a life shard. As soon as we settle it, that will, because we're playing as an empire, that will turn into a death shard. There's nothing else up that way. There's no other real resources. But yeah, that's another good location. Horses down this way. We can't do the... Actually, if I go into... I'll just show you. If I just go across to here. Is there anything else over that way? Here's a water shard there, which would get in as well. Plus there's wild grain. So this is actually a good spot. If I just go and settle there. It's sort of funny when you see each start, you think, oh, wow, actually that'd be a fun one to play. And so this has now changed. The life shard has changed to a death shard because we are playing as an empire. Empires are more evil than the kingdoms. And so that one we can build on straight away, playing this particular faction. But I've got 3 radiant slots now, which I can then sort of make use of for the building. Anyway, we're not going to be playing this one, so we'll just go back out to the main menu and go to load the game. And open this one up. Yeah, actually, and Alpha Melon is saying, then also consider that adjacent to river or woods gives access to special buildings and access to on-map resources. Yeah, so that's actually true. When you do have, when your city actually goes right next to a forest, a river, or an ocean, basically, you do get other abilities to build things like docks or sort of wood cutting. So you end up with very specific. This is where it's a really good role play game, just with what it does bring in. Like, it's actually very, very cool the way it sort of does work with this. I don't know when we should go to war. I'm tempted. So actually, Alf Mellon's saying that also there's a lot of factors to evaluating city sites. So high food gives faster pop growth. There we go. Yeah, we covered all that. Yep. So anyway, that's sort of where we are. But in this case, Geddons, we do actually have a heap of mana now. So let's just go back in, get the enchanted hammers. I forgot to do this before. Or did I? Maybe I didn't. And we'll go back into here as well and grab meditation. I probably don't need it. Increase gold production in this city by 25%. We don't need that just yet either. I'll go meditation. What I might do is go back to the town, and we're going to have a look and see what the town actually has got. When we have a look over through here, we can sort of see what it's building. So this is just a really quick summary of what the town actually is. So we have +2 Gildar coming in at 1.8. Taxes are 30%. The city Gildar is 6. The base town we're getting in through here is 4 for the town, and 2 because we've got a merchant. So we've got a base of 6, but and then we're taxing that at 30%. So that's sort of where we are there. We've got the, I forget what that one is, 0 there. But anyway, we've got research. We're only doing 1 research here at this particular town. And then we actually have 33 production on this particular town through here. So we're making 9 per material. We've got 5 materials. So we've got good production in this particular town. Unrest is high at -30, so we need to sort of mitigate against that at some point. And it's a base town of +2 in through there as well, just for a little bit more production. So we're not getting too much there. If I double click on the town itself, I then get more detail as to what we actually have. So the grain, for example, we've just got 4 grain. That's what we've got. Materials, we've only started off with 3. But we do actually have a clay quarry, and we have enchanted hammers, which is now raised it to 5. So we're getting very, very good production in this particular site. You've got the unrest, the population in through there. The growth is actually is capped to 0 by the fertility limit. So in this case, we actually need to get more food. So the food we've got is so we're getting +25 per grain. The population of 74 is eating it, so we need to boost this a little bit. That should be so by the fertility limit. Now the fertility limit, I'm not sure where that one is showing. Don't know if that's actually a factor of the we're just not making enough food. So we'll need to go back into. We are building a cleric, which will reduce the unrest. But just go back into build again. And if I get the gardener or the grocer, food per grain is going to be +15. Faction food per grain is going to be +5. That's going to help everywhere. So let's go with the garden, and just keep on building that one. I'll build this one out on this side. So just queue these things up a little bit. Okay, that'll just help eventually just to get the growth up. Again, I want to keep these cities growing. That's actually, I'm glad we looked at that. Blackstead, what are you doing? Growth is only small. We have a bit of a surplus with our food, so again, it would be good to get more food here, just to keep the growth sort of thumping along. Tower of Dominion's coming in 3 turns. I will just queue up a garden there, I think. Just go that one. Closing the gap there. It's going to take a little while for that to happen. And the new one is growing strongly at this stage. If we do need to change the construction, if we have a quick look at this one again, yeah, growth is high. But again, food is important here. So, go back to build. So we did build a location there. The monument's going to give me +1 zone of control. I wouldn't mind trying to encroach out a little bit further to actually have that as well. The workshop would be useful. I think I'll grab the monument and just pick up this so we can get more materials. Just click on done. But it's really, for me, it's actually there's such good balance in what you've built up. It's quite nice actually. I'll be wanting to get that wild grain. Might push this way when we start to build other things. I'm sort of I'm tempted to go to war here. Buzzy is saying, love the game, but when you get a dragon or some demon with 900 hit points and damage and the epic or legendary spawn in your zone, it makes it spicy to say that. Yes, that can be it's like that group of whatever dragons they were that wandered through. There's no way we can deal with them yet. We will eventually, but not just yet. So we're doing training. We've still got this one coming. We've got 3 training per turn basically at the start. Sorry, 3 research per turn, but training's going to take 14 seasons. So it'll take some time. We've actually now hit the lead of the factions that we're aware of. Now what do we need to do? Just press tab, and we're now back again. All right, so we'll go and. Oh no, we're a bit damaged here. So we'll just sort of wander around and see what else we can find. There's a river. You know, I really want this city. It's going to piss them off. Here we go. So this is the second city that we had. And again, you can't just park this. You can't sort of put it away. And this would be nice to be able to see exactly where we are. We have to rely on the mini-map when this happens. But we know that this is the city that we want to ultimately have as our fortress. So I'm going to go across to fortress, going to accept. And we now have other champions available. So your fame has now grown to the point where we're attracting legendary heroes to your cause, but only one will join your service. So there's numerous ways to get the heroes. And so in this case, we've got a hero that is going to come based on our fame level. We can recruit them if we've got high enough fame, the other heroes that we sort of saw around the place, and we can then now go and make them through babies as well, through the Dynasty system. So your fame has grown far and wide. We'll just go back to recruit. So we have Knocked Nightbringer, who is a Death Apprentice, which is actually okay for us. He's also Wraith, and it can shadow shift. So he trades plays with an enemy unit and then takes another action unless the enemy resists. And over through here we've got Meridisi, who is a Fire and Death Apprentice. She's Quendar. She's a mage, and he's like an assassin. We're going to end up with very, very strong mages anyway, so I'm not too concerned about having more mage units. I think we'll go this way. It's got no specialisation at this stage. We'll recruit Knocked. He's another Wraith. So he's been recruited. Is he standing next to our group? That's Coolin's army. Yeah, there he is. Well, we can just go and clear out all these guys to start with. So now have those two together. 36 hit points in total. Good attack. That'd be an interesting fight. Let's just see how they go. Do a quick save here. So we'll battle this one. Oh, I should have checked to see what weapons we had available. That poison's going to kill it. Geez, 2 dodges isn't good. That's okay. Everyone's dodging. Nice. Now, Noct is going to ultimately end up, he's now gone to level 2. So, what do we do for Noct? Do we go another assassin? Or do I make him a commander? I think I'll make him another assassin. So we'll just start his process. Look at these fire shrills, which are medium. Yeah, I'll move these down. We've got a weak quest there as well. I'll just make sure that I did save that. Okay, let's go in. Battle. Shrill's going to be a little bit tricky. I have to run this one back out of here at some point. Yeah, I'll have to get that one out of there. Bash that one. Get you out of there. Good dodging. No real damage. Good. These are quite useful now that we've sort of got them upgraded. I won't risk it. Oh, I guess I could have actually. Alright, that was good. More level ups. Okay, so Sev is now... actually, that did call him still Darian back in the other thing, so we're going to need... I'll try to remember all the different things I need to give feedback on. It's very much still in early access. I think I'm going to put... commander. Make you a commander. Yeah, some good stuff in here. Okay, so break the brawl with force or command the room to stand down. Let's just do that. Do we get anything? No, nothing. Done. Well, that was a bit of a nothing. And then we've still got this group of fire shrills to get rid of. So they're going to be keeping on spawning in around the place. Leather cuirass. Okay, so we'll equip that, but we'll actually just go back into the equipment for this guy here. So if I throw that one on board, that'll then make him a bit stronger. Let's have a look and see what he's got. He's actually got an assassin knife, which is actually very, very good. So I won't need to change that one. He also has the midnight stone, so he's got better spell resistance. Nothing else we need to worry about there, really. Like everything else is good for him. So that works. Still got wandering groups coming back in as well. So just keep on trying to get these leveled up. Do a quick save, and we'll go after this little army here. That's fine. They're okay to go after this one. I'll just do another quick save. And again, I'll do this one manually, just as these can be a little bit tricky. The shrills. Put her as a target. This one down here. Tried to cast slow on us. Kill that one off. Good. Here we are. That was easy. Okay, so that's done. Told you it was easy. Thought we'd have more trouble with that one. There's a lower land spell if we wanted to sort of lower a mountain down into something else, which may be useful. Oh no, it's not mountains. It's a God. We're so close here. Yeah, we're going to get this expanded very, very quickly now. So that's actually good. We're almost over here now as well. We haven't explored to the south. We really should do that. I might send this small group down to check things out. We can settle in here again as well. These aren't the best, but it does. But why not? Like it's sort of. There's a border there again as well, so somebody else's border there. No construction, although we can just go and train up another pioneer group. Done. Darian took a bit of heat there. It's now got this one. I'm just going to go and add that to the queue. Sharp dagger. I've already got one of those. There's a road leading in there now as well. Looks like we're sort of now getting to a position where we can expand a little bit, so let's move this one across. Goes down. Darian just leveled up again as well. So with what he has, again, I'm just going to get him to get more experience. Yeah, we're trying to get on that road, I think. Nearby wild grain is now also available to us, so we'll be wanting to get hold of that. So we'll just queue them up into this particular city. Medium wolf army, we're still only weak, so we can't really do much with that. God, we're so close to joining this one up now. This is really sort of taking off, which is quite nice. I don't think we can take that. Oh, there's another location there. Okay, we'll have to clear that one out. Garden coming in 3. We'll just see if we can get around that to get to this position. Could we take it with this? Technically not. I mean, it may be. Let's just see if we can do it. Let's just do a quick save here. If we could, it'd be awesome. So we'll we'll go to battle. Just see if there's a place that we can hole up somewhere. Oh no, we can't. Yep, no, there's no way. Alright, we'll just go and let that one go. So that was when they take injuries, they become injured, then they get like a specific injury. But we'll save scum that because we don't want that to be what happens. So we'll go back into main menu, load game. Yes, quick save, load. Bit convoluted. Like that's where I think that we could learn a little bit from the way that Age of Wonders ended up sort of having the replay or the sort of like the redo type thing. I think there is a quick save button for doing a quick load. Okay, so Grand Element. So I remember playing Fallen Enchantress back in the day. It was a buggy mess, like all StarTactic games tend to be, but surprisingly entertaining. I thought that actually Fallen Enchantress I didn't find buggy at all, to be honest. So I thought that was exceptional as a game, and I think that it's and then it was a fun game to play. And Elemental they can do so much more with it. I've been very pleasantly surprised with Elemental. It's a game I thought I'd sort of bounce back off, but just because I thought it would feel too old, but it actually doesn't. There's a Reaver's army there. We'll just do another quick save here. And we'll battle this one out. Ooh, that was a hard one. Better help out over this side, I think. There we are. Lost library. Okay, so we've got another kid. Rabiaba. God, these names are horrible. Come on, give me something that actually sounds immersive, and they just don't. They really are bad names. Do Renan. That'll do us. Now we've got another Wolf's Army there. So this is going to give us heals. Yeah, we don't need that. Okay, we've now got training, so we can get +1 army sizes, which is good. We'll open up more research. Go back to trading now, I guess. Actually, we'll go back to warfare. Yeah, no, I'll go back to trading. Grab that one. These quests, what do we have down there? Just a bandit army. I can take them on. Geez, this dodgy is doing well. And it died through the poisons. Do a quick save here. We'll sort of block them off through here. Let's go and pass. The Shadow Warg is the one that they find the easiest to attack. Let's go with Darien and pass there. Yep, so it didn't do any real damage. Just going into defensive mode can be very, very helpful. They're ganging up on him. That's good. Okay, that's done. Oh, a sharp axe. Now this is a two-handed weapon. We don't really want it, so I'm just going to keep it for now. So finding lots of spears and things. This group is weak as well. Spider's taken a bit of damage. I think I might still try to clear it. Maybe a bit more tricky than we think. No, it's okay. getting through it now, which is good. Okay, he's leveled up again, which is good. So with him, again, I'll grab the experience, get the potential. They've taken a bit of damage now, so we're just going to need to heal up for a little while. Tab. So this one here, I need to break through again. Pioneer coming in one turn there to take this one over here somewhere. It'd be nice to get another Pioneer. This is still not joined up, unfortunately. It will soon. It's not very far off, I'm sure of it. Let's just go back and build. Well, there's the growth there of 2. Okay, so we're getting +2 growth, so that is actually still growing again now. Bell Tower, the inn, provide food bonus as well as Gildar. That's a good one. Actually, that's not going to help me. The study I can build. I want to push out to this other side now, so I'll grab the study in here. Actually, do we need that? The bell tower. Bell tower is nice and quick. Let's just go and grab that one. So the clay pit is now inside our territory. So we'll build on that one as well. Training completed for Pioneer. And we do actually have like a lot of production that we can do through here, just not a lot of growth. I think we'll take that. Just use these to explore a little bit more. Yes. Oh, here we go. We're under attack by these. Shouldn't really be a problem. I'll just auto-resolve this. Yep, nothing really took any damage. That's a medium. That's a bandit archer's army, which is not as strong as us. Let's do a quick save there as well. Oh, they're considered weak, actually. I'll just auto-resolve, see how we go. Yep, they went after Darian again. Blessed Hammer. So in here we end up with, I did have 2 growth there, but this one gives me a lot of production. So we'll settle into there. I do need to start to build up more troops, to be honest. That's actually something we are now a little bit behind in. So I'll just see if there's any other questions here. So Tiger Taurus is saying, hi everyone, is this the new beta that they released today? Yes, it is. We'll be playing the new DLC in Galactic Civs. Probably not for a little while. There's too many other games. So maybe the new year before I come back to Gal Civ, I'm thinking. What I'll be doing is I'm playing this one pretty much going to be pretty solid for the next week or so. I am away for just between Christmas and New Year, but then but there's also I've got a sort of like a sneak peek version of Ashes of the Singularity 2, which is an amazing game. Like I've been lucky to play it for half an hour when I was actually at the Stardock. At their offices, so they sort of showed us where that one was, and it was a game I didn't think I'd actually enjoy that much, But it's an incredible game, so I can't wait to be able to show that. And I think I'm showing that to you guys tomorrow. I forget when the embargo comes off, but it's not available yet, but it's coming soon, and it's just a brilliant, brilliant game. So I've got sort of too many games to show at the moment to get across to Gal Civ. But I have got the new Gal Civ, but I just haven't actually. I've played it a little bit myself, but I haven't really done anything as far as recording it. So, but I will get to it at some point. But yeah, at the moment, this is there's just too much to do here with this particular one. So I don't know what else like before I buy. It's what's it like? It does change. It does change the way that the humans play in the game. You end up with two factions of humans. Barzy is saying Gal Civ is a huge game, epic fun. Look, I've actually got to get going in just a few more minutes. Do you want me to flick over and show you the difference in very, very quick terms? I can do that pretty quickly. Let's just leave it where we are here. I'll be back again in a couple of days to continue on with this run. I'm going to be continuing this run for quite some time. It's going to be a bit of a series now that we've got this new version of the game out. I'll just do a save. I'll just save it to that one again. And I'll just very quickly sort of show you, what's actually in there, because it's not just quest sort of stuff, which it is actually there's some new things in there. So if we go back to main menu and then exit, and I'll just open up Gal Civ 4. And there's Ashes of Singularity was just underneath there, by the way. So if I just go and play it. This takes a little bit of time to load in. It's a bit funny because what it does do is it gives you two human factions you can play, the old and the new. And I don't know why you'd play the old, to be honest, if you've got this faction. It simplifies the tech tree to a large degree for that human faction. So if I just go into new game. And yeah, so this is the new Terran Alliance. So this is what I was playing around with last time. So if I go and have a look, you sort of see through here, they're Voyagers, Inspired, Colony Ship, Flagship, Individualism, and Humanoid is sort of like the focus that we have. But the old Terrans are still here. So this is essentially the same, what's his name? It's someone Bradley, I forget his name. This is him. This is a younger version of him, but we've still got Voyagers, Inspired, Colony Ship, Flagship, Individualism, and Humanoid. So it seems like it's the same group when you look at it, but it's actually quite different. If we go and open up this one here, so all of that is the same, except when we actually go to start the actual game itself. I'll just go in and I don't think any of this has changed as such. So, but they play quite differently. I'll just start again just so you can see what it's like. Oh, sorry, you got ads. That's terrible. Okay, the ads are over. I just showed there's two human factions now. There's the Commander Bradley when he's young, and Commander Bradley when he's old. If you have a bit of a look at it, the big thing. So that's him now when he's old. So they've got the same stats essentially of what they end up having, but the difference I think is in the tech tree. Where is it? Where's the tech tree? Just click on done there. And technology. Do I have to unlock anything? God, I've forgotten where it is. Civilization, leaders, culture. Funny how your mind goes. Oh, there it is. Down through here. So if we have a bit of a look at it, we don't have. If I go to the Tech Navigator, it's very, very cut down now. So the actual civs are more specific for humans. So we've got like a very refined tree of just three areas: civilian, military, and so. It doesn't mean it's simpler, it just means it's different. So we've got like a different tech tree for them and innovation back in through there. If we have a look back at the previous one, so that's just one of the changes. There's a few other things as well, but if we go back in and main menu, yes. And I'll go back to the other one as an example, new game, and then choose the young Commander Bradley. So this is him in through here, and go next, start game. I think the look of the ships is a bit different as well. So there's a few cosmetic changes, but this is sort of using the it doesn't have a personalized tech tree as such, I believe. Let's click on done. So you'd still have this previous one where they've got all 6. So engineering, science, weapons, defense, logistics, and governance. So all the other factions still have these, but the new humans do actually have like a rethought through tech tree. And there are other changes as well. Like if you read this Steam page, you'll sort of see it, but it's not just sort of story elements. It does play differently. There is a backstory, and I forget what the backstory actually is, because I knew I wasn't going to be recording it. I was just bouncing in to have a bit of a look. But that's essentially, so you've got both of them there, because they do look pretty much the same at the actual ships that they had there. So so if you have a look at the actual Steam page for it, you'll sort of see how that's actually sort of going there with that particular one. Anyway, I do have to get going, guys. So thanks for watching, and I will catch you tomorrow, where I'm pretty sure I can play Ashes of the Singularity. If not, I'll be playing this game again. So we'll sort of see how we go, and I'll catch you then if you're around. Thanks for watching. I think that, to be honest, I really think you're going to enjoy Ashes. So even if you don't think it's a sort of game that you will like, have a look at it, because I was so surprised I wasn't even looking forward to testing that particular game, and it was such a surprise packet. It was unbelievable. So anyway, I'm going to show that tomorrow. Really looking forward to that. It's got such a degree of polish, and it's very, very cool. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and thank you for the gifted sub there, Began. That's great.